Good afternoon and welcome back to Orient Live. The curtains raised once more on the EFL League One campaign, and what a short summer it's been, but how long it's felt. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio this afternoon by two legends. We've got Theo Archibald and Glenn Wilkie. Now Glenn, we'll come to you in a moment, but Theo, it's fantastic to see you looking fit, looking healthy. How you feeling injury-wise?
Yeah, good. Started running 3 weeks ago yesterday, and I mean I'm not doing a hell of a lot right now. I'm just kind of plodding straight line, but it's feeling good. I'm feeling pretty strong, and just kind of keep building on that. Hopefully start doing some change direction work, maybe get the ball involved in a few weeks, and then yeah, hopefully we're kind of in the home straight now, under 3 months or something like that, with any luck. So yeah. And
obviously won't push for too much. I don't know where the future lies, but obviously the aim is to get back out on the pitch and putting on a show once more.
Hopefully, yeah. That's what I'm working hard for anyway, every day. So yeah, obviously I kind of got into this position or similar position last time and then re-ruptured the ligament, so I'm not really thinking too far in advance. I'm just kind of taking it kind of week by week, but yeah, as the weeks go on, I'm now 8.5 months post-op, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. It's nice to be back out on the grass and get my football boots on again, and yeah, hopefully start touching the ball soon and yeah, keep kicking on.
How does it feel, first game of the season today and you're not involved? Obviously you've gone through a real traumatic experience with your knee. But first game of the season, everyone's gearing up towards that and you're on the outside. It's just...
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, well, I'm used to it because it was the same last season, unfortunately. It's been that long. So, yeah, I'm just, I don't know, I'll be supporting the boys as I have been sort of for the last 18 months, just from the side and doing my bit when I can in the changing room and whatnot. But, I mean, look, obviously I would like to be, doing the warm-up as they'll be doing right now, but I'm not, so I just kind of got to do my bit and, yeah, big them all up in the studio today.
Looking forward to getting your insight on that very shortly, but Glenn, we've got to touch on it. Last time we were together in an Orient Live capacity, it was under the Wembley Arch, getting ready for that game. The optimism was high. Didn't work out how we were optimistic that it would, but there's still a fresh feeling of hope as you come into this new season.
Yeah, major changes within the squad. Players have gone, players have come in. It's an exciting time. I think we've recruited really well in the summer. Obviously the proof of the pudding's in the eating, and we'll see how we go. Touch wood, no long-term injuries for anyone. Stay injury-free and like it. Stay injury-free. Everyone's fit and healthy, and Richie can get the team out what he wants to get out, and the new boys coming in adjust to the system, the style of play, what's required from the manager, and we can have a really good start, because yes, we've got a difficult 4 or 5 games again. It's the third time on the spin. If we can get points on the board early, I think we'll be in for a real good season.
Well, there certainly has been a lot of change this season, a lot of new faces. So let's take a look at the squad list now, and we'll take a look at some of the notable ones and those new signings. So here they are, and we'll start off with our new goalkeeper. We've got our number 1, Tommy Simpkin, who's come in on loan from Stoke. Teo Adaramola, left back, has come in from Palace on loan. Idris El Mizouni, the Tunisian, he's here for his 3rd season, and it's permanent this time. He's signed from Oxford. Aaron Connelly has joined on a permanent transfer from Millwall. Dimitri Mitchell, who's a free agent upon expiration of his deal at Exeter, as is Michael Craig, who left Reading. We've signed Tyreek Bakinson on a permanent transfer from Wickham. Josh Koroma also returns as a free agent. Jack Morehouse, who isn't on screen here, but he's wearing the number 21. He's coming on loan from Man United, playing in midfield. Also, another loanee in the midfield position is number 30, Joe White. He's coming on loan from Newcastle. And Killian Cahill, who's joined following the expiration of his deal at Brighton. And that there on screen now is all of the squad numbers, so take a good look at that. They'll be the ones putting on a show on the pitch this season. And from maybe the injury room and from the grass where you've been doing your running, what's been the feel with the new boys coming in? Obviously, it's been such a big shift from some heroes that did such a big job last season. So has there been a little bit of a shift?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of been a little bit of the story under the gaffer here, to be honest. He's had to sort of rebuild squads that had given him success. I know obviously the success last season would have ultimately been winning at Wembley, but I think if you look at the season on the whole, it was a pretty large success. and a large part of that was 5 of the loan players, and obviously we lose all of them. It's, not going up probably meant that we weren't going to get a hold of any of them, and we've not, obviously. So I think replacing them is obviously a tough task, but behind the scenes they seem to have been sort of doing their job pretty early doors. We brought in permanent signings much earlier than we have done previously, I think. All with a pretty solid pedigree, and they've settled in pretty early, and then obviously later in the window we've started adding the loans with Teo, Joe and Jack as well, exactly. The squad's coming together pretty nicely, to be honest. Everyone's settling in pretty well. Obviously some of the new lads have just come in this week, but they'll settle in as well. I mean, the core's remained the same, and the ethos around the club has remained the same. The environment stays sort of how it has been. You've got Omar as skipper now, but Prats is still there. Nothing principally has changed in regards to like how we sort of operate as a football club and as a dressing room. It's just the new faces coming into that environment. They need to sort of learn how the manager operates, how sort of we operate as a team, and I've been here for this is my 5th season now, and every time they've recruited good people first and foremost, and I think this time's been no different. So looking forward to seeing how they get on today. You took the words out of my mouth, really. I was going to say that, ever since Nigel came in, it feels like it's been a policy to sign good eggs only, and that seems like it's happened ever since 2017 when they took over, yourself including, the signings since. It really does feel like that is the case. Yeah, I mean, well, certainly in my time here, I obviously can't comment from before that, but we've really not had any bad eggs, to be honest. And like, if there has been one or two, then they've been sort of shifted out the door pretty fast. Because I think as much as you need to have the talent on the pitch, I think just as important as probably we saw last season, the camaraderie within the dressing room off the pitch can make such a huge difference. I mean, everyone knows the story of last season. We were sat on 21st or something like that in the middle of November. That takes more than just talent on the pitch to turn that around. That takes like the bond within the dressing room to turn that around, and sort of credit to everyone who was in the changing room last season, and obviously the staff, etc. as well, for turning it around. And I think hopefully we can get off to a better start this season, because I think it's been one of the things that's let us down. We've always been chasing, and although we've done quite well chasing the pack in the last couple of seasons, if I think back to the season before that, when we'd started with 9 wins and 1 draw in the League 2 campaign, I don't think we weren't first for pretty much all season. So if we can get off to a better start, then I think it would just put everyone at ease, and we can just sort of hopefully kick on and have a successful season. And let's look at the quality we've brought in, because there's a lot of quality throughout these signings. Let's start in the forward positions. The return of Josh Koroma is exciting. We all remember the wizardry he did back in the National League days, and that he's played at a really high level since leaving us back then. Aaron Connelly, Premier League pedigree, Ireland caps. He's got class oozing out of him. We've seen that in pre-season. Everyone looks to have real quality to add to this squad. Yeah, especially the two you've mentioned there. Obviously, Koroma played for us two divisions below. He was a youngster coming through, got a good move. He's done well. Very surprising that he came back and he chose us over Barnsley, because I think there was a big offer for him financially, but he chose to come back to the O's. Interesting that he goes back to his former club on the first day of the season, so he'll have a point to prove today, which will be very interesting to see how the crowd react to him. Connelly, I really like him. He's been through a tough period off the field with what's gone on with him, but he seems to sort of got his head straight, got his head together. I think Richie will be really good for him. As Theo knows, he seems to be a really good man manager. One who, if someone needs an arm around his shoulder, he'll do that. Need a kick out the backside, I think he does that as well. I think if he can get Aaron Connelly his head right and get him firing, I really do think he's going to be top goal scorer in this league if he stays fit, and if the supply chain stay fit as well, and they can get him the ball. But really exciting times. Forwards earn the big bucks, right? That's why everyone pays big money for them, because they're the difference between mediocre teams in the league and teams that are pushing for promotion and go up. Look at Birmingham last year. We've got, on paper at the moment, we've got great forwards. Very
Very big confidence from you, Glenn, early doors. Let's talk about another returning, though. Idris El Mizouni. Everyone was buzzing to see him return, with the dressing room as buzzing. He feels like a fan's favourite. He feels like a team favourite. Even when he wasn't here last season, you'd see him in the stands.
Yeah, just a really nice surprise when I saw that pop up on my timeline. And I mean, yeah, he had a wonderful 2 years here. I think he still coming to the games when he was no longer here last season. You had sit with him for a couple of games earlier in the season. He loves this place and he loves this club. I think he's made that clear. So it's nice for him to come home. And as you said in your introduction, on a permanent basis this time. He's got the number 8 jersey, and although it's a shame he's missing today. Yeah, he's a. I mean, I love Edie to bits. He's a top player, but he's a good guy. He's funny around the place, and yeah, really delighted that we've managed to bring him in.
What I'm pleased about that is Darren Prattley is still here, because they had that special bond, and you could see when Idris come in the first time and he was playing alongside Darren, and you could see him talking to him in the game and helping him with his game, and he just grew. He grew. His performances got better. He got stronger. Everything about his game got better and better and better. And the fact that Prats is no longer a player, but he's part of the staff, I think that's a really good thing to have. Indeed. Well, it is a shame we won't be seeing him in an O shirt today, but hopefully we'll see him back very soon, doing his thing in that Orient red. But now let's take a look and see how the team is lining up for today's fixture as we travel to the John Smith Stadium. It was the final league game of last season, and hopefully a similar result today, but here's how the O's shape up. A very different looking start 11, but Tommy Simpkins starts in goal wearing the number 1 shirt. Across the back line we have Teo Adaramola and Tom James in the fullback positions, with Romani Edmonds-Green partnering the captain for today, Dan Happe, at centre-back, who is of course also the new vice-captain. In midfield, Sean Clare and Tyreek Bakinson shore up the midfield, and in front of them is Josh Koroma and Sonny Perkins in the wide positions, with Azim Abdullah playing just behind Aaron Connelly, who leads the line. And on the bench is Killian Cahill, Jack Simpson, Brandon Cooper, 007, it's Ollie O'Neill, Jack Morehouse, Zach Obiero and Joe White. So let's jump straight into it, Glenn. I think you're chomping at the bit to talk about this man. Aaron Connelly. Let's look and see what he's about. If you remember when he burst onto the scene for Spurs all them years ago. For Brighton against Spurs, scoring on his debut, I believe. He just looks class. And I watched an interview with him when I think he'd signed, was it Sunderland he played at? And he spoke about his time in the Premier League, and he got his chance and he scored the goals. And everything came a bit too quick for him, and he thought he'd made it. He thought he was going to be a Premier League player for the rest of his career. It didn't work out that way. He's gone through troubles and turmoil off the pitch, which he openly admits. But the guy has got a real good pedigree. He's quick, he's sharp, he's got a ruthlessness about him. You see here, through one-on-one, great finish. He's so calm in front of goal when he needs to be. It just, for me, I think it is an absolutely brilliant signing. Absolutely brilliant signing. And I think I would have sent shockwaves through this division from other teams when they saw who we've signed, him and Koroma. They would be, I think they'd be worried. A lot of defences out there will be worried.
Does a signing like that almost resonate through the dressing room as well, somewhat? Because when you see someone who, I remember only a few years ago, playing seeing him on Match of the Day, and I had him in my fantasy team, to someone with that quality, does that make everyone else maybe jolt up a little bit?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think most of the squad needs to gel up like that, to be honest. But it definitely does no harm. I think it maybe sort of confirms the ambition, and allows everyone to sort of, we've brought in a guy who's, this probably isn't his level, I don't think, to be honest, League One. But hopefully he's come to us to boost himself back up again, because he belongs in a higher division. There's no doubt about that. And so if he's given the service, we've seen already that he can finish. He's a top player.
He looks so different on paper now, looking across the rest of the squad. The same goes for Huddersfield, really. It's going to be such a hard one to discuss or even call until at least half-time. But as Theo mentioned earlier, there is still that core. We've still got Haps and Reg at the back. Sean Clare's doing there. Tom James, who's been here for years. There is still that core. And how are you feeling going into this one?
In what way?
And you
How am I feeling?
Looking at that, are you confident?
Look, going into this game, I think you're going away. Huddersfield are one of the. I think the bookies have got them the second favourite to get promoted, right? So they're going to be strong. They've made changes. They've bought a lot of experienced Championship players this season to drop down. So they're going to be very, very strong. I think if we can come away with at least a point today, me personally, I'd be happy with that, because you don't want to go into the first game losing. Keepers and the defence want to keep a clean sheet, get the first one on the board. The forwards want to get their first goals on the board. There's lots of different segments to the team and to the squad. But if you can come away from that first opening game away from home against one of the favourites in the division, I think it sets you in good stead for when you're playing next Saturday at home to Wigan, which will be another tough game, but in front of our own supporters.
And let's talk about Dan Happe then now. Wearing the armband today, Theo. He's by far now, unless you obviously account for Josh Cromer's debut, which I think was just before Dan Happe's, the longest serving player now. He's one of the most experienced heads, and they're wearing the armband today. He's really blossomed. I think that's probably unfair to say blossomed, but what a player he has become.
Yeah. No, he's top. Left-footed, 6'5", centre half, like cultured passer of the ball. Wish he would score a couple more goals with his head, but
great eyebrows as well.
Top eyebrows, handsome man. And yeah, he's sort of in the time I've been here, he's grown into a man. Not that he was a boy beforehand, but like he's definitely grown into a man. And I think he wears the armband today, obviously because Omar's not there, but it fits him. He can lead us out there and be an example as he is every day, to be honest, in the changing room. Like you say, he's been here for a long time. He knows the club inside out, and I think he'll want more than anything, just about anybody at the football club, for us to achieve one better than what we did last season. You
maybe wouldn't have him down as someone that will scream and shout at people and whatnot. He's not that Roy Keane mould, but as we'll see from the clips here, he leads by example. Some of his performances last season, winning every ball, winning his tackles. He's that kind of player. He oozes that.
He does, and like Theo was saying, he's grown up into being a man, so to speak. But what he does is, I think certainly over the last season, when he wasn't, because he struggled with injury last year, but when he has played, I think he's got more aggressive in his play, which is needed, because I always said a few years back he was too nice to be a centre half, especially attacking corners. He was very nice. He didn't win as many headers. Last season when he played, he's more aggressive. He's starting positions very well. He always seems to be in and around where the ball's going to land, and that's no coincidence. That comes with age, that comes with experience. And yes, like you say, he may not be the screamer shatter on the pitch, but he will certainly organise players around him, have a word with them. You don't have to be throwing your arms in the air to be a captain. Like you say, lead by example. And he's a good egg. And I think wearing the armband today, he'll be so proud to have that, because he's been at the club so long.
Well, let's hear what Dan Happe has to say ahead of wearing the armband for the opening fixture for this one.
Perhaps the countdown is pretty much over. How ready are you feeling to get started all over again?
Yeah, we're all ready. It's been a draining but fun pre-season, and all the boys are really excited to get going on Saturday.
Obviously, we came so close last year to winning promotion. Just how, losing that playoff final, what does that do for you as an individual? How do you feel now off the back of it?
Just raring to go, all the boys are very motivated to go again and push on and go that one step further. Of course, we was very down the first couple of weeks after losing. Everyone had to reflect on the final in their own time in the summer. But now we've come back together and had a good pre-season. Everyone's excited to go, like I said, and go that one step further.
It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But for every setback, there's a comeback. Is that sort of how you and your teammates are feeling, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. We've got a great group of players here. We've signed very well. It's a very strong squad, I believe, and I think obviously the gaffer believes, and there's no reason why we can't do it.
How do you feel like the new boys are settling in?
Yeah, everyone settles in perfectly here all the time. I think it's just a good core group of players all the time. So when there's additional players coming into the squad, they just get bedded in very easily.
It's not so long ago we were up at Huddersfield how difficult a test do you think they'll give us?
Yeah, they'll be a good side. I think they've signed well as well. So it will be a good test. The first games are always difficult. They're very quick, bit like basketball matches. It'll be tough. But as I said, we're ready to go.
We tested ourselves against Watford last weekend and really matched them, didn't we? Does that give you confidence heading into games against your likes of Huddersfield?
Yeah, definitely. Watford was a good test in pre-season. I think we went toe-to-toe with them. We went man for man, very aggressive, and it worked out well for us. So there's no reason why we can't do that against Huddersfield. And
obviously we'll respect every team that we do play. But going into the season, do we feel like we really want to make our mark on these games and this season? Well,
yeah, going off the back of last season, I think we played very well after Christmas. We didn't show teams no respect. We went after every single team, and I think we've got to do that again this year. Go toe to toe with every team we play against and match them up, and I'm sure we can come out on top on most occasions.
Is that the key? Do you think just going for it from the first whistle?
I think that's just our style. Just being really aggressive. On the front foot, going man for man, and pressing with higher intensity. And I think that works. It works in our favour quite a lot.
And obviously, results-wise, it was a bit of a slow start last season. What do you think we need to do differently to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, obviously win. That'll be a good start. But just be confident. Hopefully the new players, we've obviously had a few games in pre-season, but hopefully league games are always different to pre-season. Hopefully we just gel straight away. And yeah, as I said, pick up 3 points and then go from there.
Time to look at the home side, but first, before that, of course, if you're watching along live on the YouTube preview stream, then don't forget, international fans, you can pick up a streaming pass to watch along with us here on Orient Live. You should be seeing the details any second now. Here you go. You can get your pass over on the Orient website for just £10, and you can listen along with Dave Victor on the commentary as well with an audio pass. All details over there. And of course, don't forget, if you are in the UK and watching live on the YouTube, then from tonight, the post-match analysis will also now be released on the YouTube channel, either very late this evening or very early tomorrow morning. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that one, for Glenn and Theo's rundown on today's game. But let's now take a look and see how Huddersfield Town shape up for this fixture. Starting in goal for the Terriers is number 1, Owen Goodman. The captain, the new signing from Preston, is Ryan Ledson. Joe Lowe starts alongside Jack Watmo, who also signed from Preston. Lyndon Gooch, just signing from Sunderland. Ben Wiles wears the number 8, and Marcus Harness wears the number 10. Michael Miller and Herbie Kane also slots in there with Sean Ruffman. And finally, their marquee signing, for the summer at least, is Alfie May, who just signed for £1.4 million from Birmingham. And on the bench is Nichols, Sorensen, Taylor, Ruskin, Bulker, Charles and Kasumu. So, a very similar position they're in. Almost more change for them. New manager, Lee Grant. It's a very difficult one to try and predict here.
First game of the season always is. I mean, obviously we had the team meeting yesterday and you're watching games that they've played against young boys or whatever, and it's like it's false. So I think the main focus just has to be on yourself. I mean, we've done our due diligence. Kind of got a shape that we expect them to play. But for example, I think we thought Ruskin was probably going to play out on the left. He's not playing. So yeah, I mean, focus has just kind of got to be on ourselves. I mean, it was only 2 months ago that we were in Huddersfield and we won 4-1. So I know the squad's quite different, but those who were there last season take confidence from that and say, let's grab it by the scruff of the neck and go and win this game.
It's no surprise to be one of the bookies' favourites when you spend £1.4 million on a striker who scores goals at this division. We'll see some of his goals from last season, Alfie May, but there's a reason why experts are optimistic about their chances this season.
Yeah, definitely. He's a goal scorer and he's a proven goal scorer as well. But I think what's more important is his work rate off the ball. He's so tenacious. He doesn't give defenders rest on the ball. He will chase things down and he'll create things for himself sometimes. But in front of goal, he does finish. Saying that, he did go through a spell last season where he didn't score for about 13, 14 games. He had a bit of a dry spell and he questions himself like any goal scorer would. When you're not scoring, you start doubting yourself, start questioning everything. Let's hope he starts the season that way.
And what do you do when you've got such a prolific goal scorer? What's Reggie's and Happ's first thoughts today, do you think?
I mean, well, they both played against them obviously last season. When we actually Haps would have played them in the first game, not the second game, but Reg played against them in February when we went down to 10 men with one of the worst red cards I think we've all seen in a long, long time. So they'll know what he's about. Same as playing against any sort of striker. I mean, of his sort of pedigree. I think he's not the most mobile, the quickest, but he's sharp in the box. His movement's good, and he's playing for a new side today in the opening game of the season, and he'll be hungry for goals. So they'll need to be on their game. Obviously, the two at the back.
Let's jump over to the stream images now of the John Smith Stadium, Glenn. It's a fantastic setting for the opening game. I don't know how many flag bearers they need, but they've got a lot of them. We've just got to go out there and put on a show. It's so hard to call or predict, but we just got to go out and do our thing, haven't we?
Listen, as a great Bill Belichick said to his Patriots team, to all of his players, do your job. Just go out there and do your job. If you do your job and everyone does it in the team, you ain't coming off this pitch getting beat. So if everyone concentrates, everyone's at it, everyone's aggressive in the tackle, aggressive of how they play, and they run around a lot, technically we're very good. Once we've got the ball, let's go and try and be aggressive going forward, let's pass forward early. I think we'll be okay. But all them things have to fit into place for us to be able to come away with points today.
What do you think the feelings are then? We touched on a hard and maybe a slow start last season, Theo, but walking out here, what do you think the thoughts are running through their minds?
I think obviously we want to win the game. That's the truth. I don't think there's any point in me trying to hide it. We want to win the game. I don't think it's a case of coming here and making sure we're obviously we want to be solid defensively, but it's not necessarily the mentality. I think we've learned from previous years we don't want to be chasing the pack again for ages and having to go on wild runs of 3 points to sort of even give ourselves a chance of getting in the playoffs or whatever. So today we can set ourselves on the right foot for the rest of the season and pick up 3 points. I think everyone will be pretty calm, to be honest. It's no one's first league game of the season. We've all been in this position before. It's a nice place to start the campaign off up in Huddersfield. There'll be a good crowd, a good atmosphere there. I'm confident. So I'm hoping they're as confident as I am. Pressure's
on them, right? Home team, spend a lot of money. Their crowd will get on their back if they're not in front early, I think.
Well. The pressure is on them, and hopefully it's the O's who can go out and put on a show. And for the first time this season, it's Huddersfield Town versus Leyton Orient. The 2025-26 campaign is underway. Dave Victor, over to you.